Hello everyone, I am Priyanka Chaudhary. Welcome to my channel. This video is going to be for those viewers who are good at reading English, writing in English. They even understand English. When the person is speaking something, you understand what the person is saying. But when it comes to speaking, you start struggling, you start fumbling, you hesitate, you feel lack of confidence. So this video is going to be specially for you. In this video, I am going to share some tips to improve your communication skills. Into that, but before talking about the exact topic or before answering anything regarding communication skills, I would like to ask you something. Have you ever given it a thought that why are you good at reading and writing in English but not in speaking? Have you ever thought about it? Okay, let me tell you. You are good at reading. It's because you have given a lot of time to reading. Whenever you read anything, you prefer reading English. When you write anything, you prefer writing in English. So you have done a lot of practice of reading and writing only, but not speaking. How much time do you give to speaking? How much do you speak in English? Ask yourself, how much do you speak in English? I don't think you speak much in English, right? That's the reason you feel lack of confidence when it comes to speaking. The more you will practice speaking, the more you will be comfortable with this language. So as I always say, practice is required in almost all the field. Now you must be thinking, yes, we actually want to practice speaking, but we do not find anyone to talk to in English. I can understand. It's not easy to find that environment where we can speak in English with each and every one. I can understand that. But can we not create such an environment by ourselves? Yes, you can. Why not? How can you do this? I'm going to tell you. You can create an English speaking environment by many ways. Like when you will start reading anything in English, you will start writing anything in English, you are even listening to and watching anything in English, and you have started speaking in English as well. You have just created an English speaking environment around you and you didn't even realize that. This is how we can actually learn how to speak in English. You can actually improve your communication skills. By creating an English speaking environment, you can help yourself to speak English. I would like to share some other areas where you need to work actually. As I already said, you can read whatever is written in English. You can even write in English. But what are the other ways? What are the other areas where you need to work on? That is listening. How much do you listen anything in English? For learning any language, listening is very important. Listening plays a vital role in learning any language. Let me explain this with an example. Have you ever noticed any child who is just 1.5 years old or 2 years old learning any language? How does a child start learning, or how does a child start speaking any language? The child starts speaking in your language, means in your mother tongue. Do you teach that child to frame sentences or to follow the particular grammar to learn that language in which you speak? No, we do not need to teach the child the language that you speak. The child automatically learns on his own, on her own. How does a child learn any language? The child starts listening to people around him or her. The child observes what are the people saying, what are the people talking. The child starts observing them, and this is how the child starts learning that language in which you speak. The same methodology we also have to apply. We also have to do the same thing. We need to improve our listening skills. Listen to English language as much as possible. Now the question comes, what should we actually listen to? And I would suggest you to listen to anything that interests you, in which you are interested. If you are interested in listening to news channels, you can listen to the news channels. Listen to any news channel that is in English. Or if you are interested in watching any movie, watch English movies. I know watching English movies and understanding it's quite difficult. After a point of time, it actually becomes boring as well. When we do not get the meaning of what they are saying, it becomes boring and we start losing interest. I can understand that. So in that case, what you can do is you can switch to, I would say, cartoons. You should start watching cartoons in English. Yes, you heard it right. I said cartoons. You should start listening to cartoons. Right. Why am I saying cartoons? It's because when you will start listening to cartoon characters, how are they speaking, how are they framing sentences, it will be easier for you to grab the sentences. It will be easier for you to understand what are they speaking. It's because the cartoon characters and the cartoon is designed for the kids especially, so that they can understand and learn from them. Similarly, you can also do that. When you will be listening to cartoon characters speaking, so you will actually understand what are they saying, how are they framing sentences. They speak slowly as well. They speak at an average rate of speech. You can easily understand characters, and in cartoons slangs are not used, and slangs are actually quite confusing to understand. That's the reason we do not get few sentences in movies and few words. We do not understand that. It's because of the slangs that they use. But when it comes to cartoon, there are no slangs. So it's easier for you to understand and even frame sentences. That's why I would suggest you to start listening to cartoons and cartoon characters. How are they speaking? How do they talk? And the stories. There are so many stories as well that are presented in English. You can even listen to that as well. So listen clearly, listen patiently, and try to understand how the sentences are being framed, and try to copy them. Try to speak those sentences out loud. Right. So first is listening. Now let's discuss what's the next area where you need to work on. So the next is watching. You should start watching whatever you love to watch on TV, on your phone, or anywhere. Start watching things in English only. If you genuinely want to improve your English communication skills, you are passionate about improving your English communication skills, so you need to actually practice a lot. So you should start watching anything in English. I would again suggest the cartoon one. So cartoons, if you will be watching cartoon, so by watching you will be listening as well. So this is how you will improve your visuals and listening skills too. Watching cartoons and any cartoon stories is definitely going to help you. So start watching things in English. Now what comes next? So now you have worked on your reading, writing, listening, watching. Now it comes to speaking. When you have done all these things, then you should start speaking. Now you must be thinking that I have no one to talk to with whom I can practice speaking. In this situation, I will suggest you to talk to yourself. Yes, when you do not have anyone around you, you can talk to yourself in English. It happens. We all start talking to ourselves at some point. When we do not have anyone around us, we talk to ourselves in our mother tongue as well. We keep thinking in our mind. We keep thinking in our mother tongue, in the language that we usually speak. But we have to switch our mother tongue with English language, the target language that we actually want to speak. So the moment you will start thinking in English, it will become easier for you and you will be comfortable as well. So start thinking in English and start speaking to yourself. You can talk to yourself like on any topic. You can even talk to yourself, or let me tell you how can you do this. You are sitting in your bedroom, let's say, okay? So tell yourself that what are the things around you. Talk about those things. Tell yourself that I'm sitting on the bed, I'm sitting in the center of the bed, or there are so many things around me. There are so many pictures hanging on the wall, or I can listen to so many sounds out there. I'm not feeling well today. I'm not feeling like going out anywhere. I feel like just sitting here on the bed. So you can just make any sentence that you want to make. I mean, just talk to yourself whatever you want to speak. So do that in English. Do not worry about the mistakes. Do not think too much about grammar. If you will be thinking too much about grammar, making mistakes, then again you will stop speaking. So don't think too much about making mistakes and English grammar. Not at all. Just speak, because you are learning any language. When you are in the learning process, you are actually allowed to make mistakes. No problem with that. Sooner or later you will gradually improve your communication skills. But before that, you need to be comfortable with this language. So be comfortable first. Tell yourself, looking into the mirror, how was your last day? You can even talk about your previous day, your last day. Tell yourself that what are you going to do today? Tell yourself about it. You can even talk to yourself while traveling, while walking on the road. So you can frame sentences. You can start speaking English. Talk to yourself in the mind. What's happening around you? You can frame sentences on that as well. So we have to start with baby steps. I would just like to make this point clear to you, that an effective communication takes place when you are able to express your views and ideas in a very appropriate and clear way to other person. If you are able to make your point understand to the other person who is listening to you, the person is actually able to understand what you actually want to say, you are successful. You need to work on expressing yourself. And sometimes what happens, we do not get the words, whatever we want to say. Sometimes we do not get the right word at the right point. So how can you overcome this problem of yours? By reading a lot of things and enhancing your vocabulary. Work on vocabulary. Try to learn as many words as you can. And learning should be done in this way, that the words that you're actually learning, try to use them in sentences that you actually speak. At the end, I would just like to tell you that do not hesitate at all. Do not feel uncomfortable while speaking any language, while speaking English. Feel relaxed. Do not think too much before speaking. It's just a language. Consider this just as a language. I can understand people start making fun of you. They do not encourage you. They actually start pulling your leg. But do not just pay attention to these people. You just be on your track and keep practicing. Initially, people will make fun of you, but one day when you will become a successful English speaker, then the same people will be feeling proud of you. Trust me. So speak English as much as you can. The more you will speak, the more you will be comfortable with this language. I hope this video really helped you, and keep learning, keep practicing. Bye-bye.